What is up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host Cherona. This is the George Mossey Show. So TLC Weekly Roundup. There's a lot going on TLC. In case you didn't know, in case your DVR is not working, you're missing a lot of shows. And there's a lot going on next week. Even more premieres. 90 Day Fiance The Other Way is coming this month, as well as Darcy and Stacey, as well as Extreme Sisters. But we're about to talk about 1,000 Pound Best Friends. So this show has premiered, and we have been watching Tina and Megan and Vanessa and Ashley on their journeys. This is the season 2. You guys may remember them from the spinoff show Too Large. They started off there, and now they got their own show. And we're watching Tina and Megan go to see Dr. Proctor. And we know that Megan was very, very apprehensive about going to see Dr. Proctor. She felt that her weight loss journey had taken a halt, and he wasn't very supportive, right? And we kind of watched a scene with Dr. Proctor asking Megan what went wrong and if she was doing what she needed to do. And she said not all of it. And he kind of laughed at her, which I kind of felt like that was kind of a dick move, right? Like,
Oh
it's
yeah.
not necessarily fair to laugh at someone who's struggling and needs support. Now, I do want to say this, like, your doctor isn't your shrink or your therapist, so they don't have to like cater to you, but they should be very supportive of such a very difficult journey. And let's keep in mind that Megan has lost 200 pounds already. She is not a failure. She is a very, very successful person when it comes to this. She just has more work to do. So she stormed out. She came back in and she has a goal of 16 pounds. And then Tina actually has a goal of 10 pounds. They're back on track. So I'm really happy for you guys. You're back on your weight loss journey. Congratulations. I want to keep watching you guys be successful. I love both of you. Everyone knows that the 1,000 pound best friends, I love all of them. Megan, Tina, Vanessa, Ashley, I love you guys. And so I just want to talk about this one more thing that happened. So Vanessa had her sister Jackie come over, and she had some McDonald's fries and shakes. So, okay, so Jacob, who is Vanessa's son, she is actually really worried about his weight and his life and his well being and his health. And he actually weighed in at 490 pounds, which surprised all of us, right? I did not see that. I thought it maybe 300, right?
Yep.
Like, I was super surprised. So Vanessa wants to make sure that Jacob doesn't have access to any of these types of foods, but Jacob feels like this is very abrupt, right? Like, he feels like, when did this happen? When did you become so obsessed with my weight and my health? And I think that it's when Vanessa lost the weight and she went from being completely immobile to now being able to do so much. They literally went skating on the premiere episode. Like, they're doing everything that they couldn't do. And she's just worried because she doesn't want to leave Jacob behind. And I actually feel that she's right. But Jacob also feels like, I'm not ready to change my entire lifestyle. So it's like, how do you try to force someone to make a change when they're not ready?
Ugh. Yeah, that's so hard. First of all, I'm so proud of all of them. Like they're doing so good. Like I just have to say that. I love you guys. You're doing amazing. But I get where Vanessa's coming from with her son because she's been there. She's been through all of it. She's been through the ups and the downs. And she even says she still struggles with wanting to eat the food that she shouldn't be
Yeah.
eating. And then to see your child go through that, I mean, every parent's worst nightmare is something bad happening to their child. Like that. I
Mhm.
mean, they always say like do what I say, not what I do. But Vanessa's actually doing it, so she wants her son to be on board too, and I totally understand that. So I mean, yeah, it was very shocking to see that his weight was so high, but I do get where she's coming from, and it makes me sad because I get it. Her sister, like, she has good intentions in a way, but she's not helping. She's such an enabler because she just thinks it's going to make them happy, and it's not going to make them happy. It's putting people in early graves. Like it's
Yep.
so sad. It's so hard. It's sad because, like, especially in America, like obesity is just such a huge thing. It's like an epidemic right now. And it's something we really need to work on. So I feel for Vanessa. I hope that her
I do
son
too.
can really see the journey that his mom was on and really want to get it together for himself because he's so young.
Hmm. He definitely has way more time to get it
Mm,
together. And I think that's what's in his head. He's like, well, I'm young, I have more time, but it's like doing it now is going to be so much easier than
yeah.
doing it later. So we're rooting for you, Jacob. We love you guys. We're rooting for all of you. Can't wait to see where you go next week and take us along with you. So another show finally premiered that is one of my favorites, and it is 1,000 Pound Sisters. Amy and Tammy Slanton season 4 has premiered, and this was a very deep episode. Okay,
Yeah.
like, we started off watching where we remember where they dropped her off at rehab at the end of season 3. We
Mhm.
thought everything was fine. Everything
Yeah.
was not fine. Okay. She got there 30 minutes later, rushed to the hospital, literally stopped breathing, literally on life support, tube in her throat. Oh
Oh,
my God. Right?
yes. Oh my God. I just have to say, first of all, I love you, Amy and Tammy, so much. So I was so happy you guys were coming back. But that was, it broke my heart for Tammy. Because, like, towards the end of the season, the last season, when she was just partying and drinking and vaping, I was so worried about her because, especially being on
Mhm.
oxygen, like, isn't that like you can't smoke anything? I feel like that's like illegal
Yeah, I
somehow.
don't think you can at
Like, you
all.
shouldn't do that. So it was really sad. And it was sad that those people were enabling her. But to see her have to get the trach put in just broke my freaking heart. Like, I'm rooting for Tammy. I mean, Amy's doing, she's fallen off a little bit because she's pregnant again. But like, and congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. We didn't
We're
mean that
so
in a
happy.
bad way.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it when people have cravings and stuff. But Tammy, we want to see you doing good. We really want to see you doing good because you are so full of life. You just need to I could just would love to see her one day just walking around, just, do like she said she wanted to go shopping and it broke my freaking heart because like it's the little things that like people like average size people don't understand that like we're taking that for granted. Like I go shopping every day. Like, girl, let's take you shopping where you're not in your wheelchair, where you're able to get out and like experience life. Like, especially and then be there for Gage and the new baby. Cause I know she loves Gage so much. And gosh, I just want her to do so good.
It was so heartbreaking when we watched the scene where she got to FaceTime Amy and she saw Gage and she's like, I want to see him. FaceTiming is not enough. I
Yeah.
need him here. And it was really hard because Amanda was planning a trip to the rehab facility for everyone to go and see Tammy. And
Mhm.
Amy's like, oh, well, I'm pregnant. I might get sick and I actually don't want to go. And then in the back of her mind, she's like, we've been through this with Tammy before. So she's like,
Mhm.
I don't want to keep getting my hopes up because it's hard for her to make a change. And it's like, I get that they feel that way because Tammy has definitely put them through a lot. But we did see Tammy take 12 steps on this
Yes.
episode. So it's like Tammy was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I got to do. Like, this was a wake up call. I'm ready. And I actually believe you. Tammy, I believe you. I feel like you have been through so much. You have suffered enough. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to take back my life. I'm going to make things change for the better. And I'm going to do this. And I feel like once she shows everyone that she's doing that, I feel like they'll be on board. But again, skepticism is real. You know, when people
Mhm.
put you through a lot and you get your hopes up and you actually root for them, take your time to help them, and then they give up. That's a really hard thing to get over.
And we have to talk about this. Did you see how good Chris looks, their brother?
I was just about to bring that up.
He
Chris
looks
lost
so good.
95 pounds,
I
is what he said. He
know.
lost 95 pounds. And I think Amanda said that he lost all the spare tires that he
Yeah.
had, like, because he was the Magellan man or whatever.
Yeah,
She said,
the
she's like, oh, you
Michelin.
lost the Michelin man. Yeah. She's like, oh, you lost all the spare tires. You look amazing. I didn't recognize him. Like, when he walked, I
No.
was like, whoa, Chris, he looks amazing. And then at the restaurant, he ordered a salad. Like, I don't want to get like all in people's plates, but Chris ordered the salad and
I
he was like,
know.
you know what? There's people at this table who should be eating a salad too, but I'm
Mhm.
gonna let that go. And I was like, see, good for you, Chris, because sometimes you got to pick your battles, right? You
You
can't
do.
always control what everyone else is doing. But I am so proud of Chris for sticking to what he is supposed to be eating. He's doing amazing. 95 pounds is a whole teenager, right? Or maybe not a
Yeah.
teenager, like a preteen. Like, that's a whole person.
That's a
Like,
person.
yeah, that's
That's a person.
amazing. And he's definitely sticking to it. And I think that that should be some motivation for Tammy too, right? I feel like Tammy
Yes.
needs to see, because remember, they started this journey together. And I
Mhm.
remember when they were doing it together, eating the food together. He was coming over with food, they were eating together, and they wanted to do this together. And now he's had his surgery for a whole year. And now we're just waiting for Tammy to catch up. But I feel like Tammy is so motivated now. Like,
Mhm.
the trach in her throat and that horrible experience that says that she even barely remembers. She said that
Yeah.
she completely blacked out and just remember waking up on life support in a medically induced coma. And I think that's enough trauma to get Tammy on the right track. And I feel like that's where we're going to see her go.
Exactly. So we're rooting for all of you guys.
all of you, I want to see you all succeed. And I'm so excited to see all the craziness and jokes that you're going to bring with us this season. I tune in just for the jokes, right?
Yeah.
I love the jokes. All of the funny jokes that the family brings, it's like all of them are comedians. I would go to a comedy show of the Slanton family. Like I
Yes.
would just sit through the whole show. Y'all are so funny. I just love all the cracking of the jokes. And then I'm also loving getting to know each of the family members better because we only were getting to know Amy and Tammy for a while. Now we're meeting Chris. Now we're getting to know their sister Amanda. I love getting to know the family and seeing how you guys all interact. So season 4 of 1,000 Pound Sisters. I can't wait to see what else we're gonna see this season. All right, guys, I'm George Mossey. This is my co-host Cherona. Make sure you're following her on all social media platforms, which are right here. I'm at George Mossey on all social media platforms, georgemossey.com, and anywhere you get your podcast. Thank you for joining us for the George Mossey Show, this week's TLC Roundup. We're going to have one more video this week, though, because there was another show that premiered called MILF Manor, and there is quite a bit to discuss and unpack about that. So we'll talk to all of you guys really soon.